a crazy time. But I think maybe we talk about actors, going on strike and everything, and there's been some changes going on at Bungie that just so happened to drop the day we're recording this. So I think I
Yeah,
think we should cover it.
it's definitely it kind of caught me off guard, but at the same time, it's like I don't know. Let's just get into it. So this is the official article release from Bungie.net, the creators of Destiny and Halo, and also they're working on a new project called Anthem. No, not Anthem, Marathon.
Marathon, yeah.
Anthem's EA. I'm still in the EA article. My bad. So the title of this is from Pete Parsons. It is the new path for Bungie. This is on their official website, by the way. This is literally came out
And
on the 31st of July.
a statement.
So, yep, here we go. Official statement is what Pete had to say. This morning, I'm sharing with all of you some of the most difficult news we've ever had to make as a studio. Due to rising costs of development and industry shifts, as well as enduring economic conditions, it has become clear that we need to make substantial changes to our cost structure and focus development efforts entirely on Destiny and Marathon. That means beginning today, 220 of our roles will be eliminated, representing roughly 17% of our studio's workforce. These actions will affect every level of the company, including most of our executive and senior leader roles. They're cutting the high earners.
That's
Yikes.
it's a deep one, dude. I start cutting the
That's
executives.
you start
Woo!
that's like senior level people that have been around for a while. Ooh, HR guy probably cooked. As my HR marketing, stuff like that, socials. Anyway, so today is a difficult and painful day, especially for our departing colleagues, all of which have made important and valuable contributions to Bungie. Our goal is to support them with the utmost care and respect. For everyone affected by this job reduction, we will be offering a generous exit package, including severance, bonus, and health coverage. Well, that's good. It's also kind of required in the United States, but I mean,
Kind of federal law, but hey,
yeah, whatever. At least they said something. I realize all of this is hard news, especially following the success we have seen with the final shape. But as we've navigated the broader economic realities over the last year, and after exhausting all other mitigation options, this has become a necessary decision to refocus our studio and our business with more realistic goals and viable financials. We are committed to two other major changes today that we believe will support our focus, leverage Sony's strengths, and create new opportunities for Bungie talent. First, we're deepening our integration with Sony Interactive Entertainment. Oh, great. Work to integrate 155 of our roles, roughly 12%, into SIE, which is Sony Interactive Entertainment, if you guys didn't know. Over the next few quarters, SIE has worked tirelessly with us to identify roles for as many of our people as possible, enabling us to together to save a great deal of talent that would otherwise have been affected by the reduction of force. Yeah, that basically means Sony bought us. We have reductive roles, and we lost. So our guys are gone. That's basically what that means. So that's 155 roles. Where are the other? What is that? 50? No, 45 plus 20 is 65 roles. So we'll see. Second, we are working with PlayStation Studios leadership to spin out one of our incubation projects, an action game set in a brand new scientific fantasy universe, to form a new studio within PlayStation Studios to continue its promising development. Ooh, that means they're losing a lot of key developers that are working on a new project. And when you get people working on a new project, those are usually the most creative, innovative, and valuable people. So
yeah.
it sounds like Sony's taking all the best guys. Yeah. Okay, so this will be a time of tremendous change for our studio. Let's unpack how we ended up in this position. It's important to understand how we got here. For over 5 years, it has been our goal to ship games in 3 enduring global franchises. To realize that ambition, we set up several incubation projects, each seated with senior development leaders from our existing teams. We eventually realized that this model stretched our talent too thin too quickly. It also forced our studio support structures to scale to a larger level than we could realistically support, giving our two primary products in development, which is Destiny and Marathon. Additionally, in 2023, our rapid expansion ran headlong into a broad economic slowdown, a sharp downturn in the games industry. Our quality miss with Destiny 2 Lightfall and the need to give both the final shape and Marathon the time needed to ensure both projects deliver at the quality our players expect and deserve. We were overly ambitious. Our financial safety margins were subsequently exceeded. and we began running in the red. This is super transparent, dude.
Yeah, it
This
really
is
is.
not something that people would
Yeah,
really
like you don't.
talk about.
Yeah, you never hear
This
this
is
when a reduction happens.
this
It's like,
is dude, this is leadership admitting like they really messed up.
yeah, this
I
is
think they deserve some flowers.
I
Not
like
like they do, but they don't,
yeah,
if that
like they
makes
deserve
sense.
some kudos at least
They're
for being
owning
honest,
up.
kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
and like, but this is this is the thing, Mike. This is the type of stuff you hear at like a GDC conference at like 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and it's like on a session that's like recorded that maybe 5 people will end up watching later. It's just like that's when
Yeah.
they admit the mess up and like what they did to
No,
change it.
they
So
posted this on the official website.
yeah, but this is like right when
Like,
it happened on the website in the statement. Like, let's just give it to you
yeah.
straight, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
mm,
I would prefer this.
yeah,
I would prefer this, to be honest. If I'm working for this company. All right, so after this new trajectory became clear, we knew we had to change our course and speed, and we did everything we could to avoid today's outcome. Even with an exhaustive efforts undertaken across our leadership and product teams to resolve our financial challenges, these steps were simply not enough. As a result, today we must say goodbye to incredible talent, colleagues, and friends. This will be a challenging time at Bungie, and we'll need to help our team navigate these changes in the weeks and months ahead. This will be a hard week, and we know that our team will need time to process, to ask questions, and to absorb this news. Today and over the next several weeks, we will host team meetings and town halls, team breakdown sessions or breakout sessions, and private individual sessions to ensure we are keeping our communication open and transparent. That's a good idea, especially because every major competitive AAA developer or studio has unions being formed right now.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, how do we keep everybody calm so they don't form a union?
It's like
Bungie, that's what
let's
this
just
is.
be honest and upfront, okay? Let's keep things
Yeah, I mean,
transparent. Yeah,
that dude, like, this goes a long way, I think, for a lot of people. As long as they
yeah,
understand, they might not be okay with it, but at least you understand. It's worse than being like super frustrated and confused and
yeah,
not knowing what's going on. That uncertainty will drive you mad.
yep,
All right, so couple more things that Pete had to say is Bungie will continue to make great games. We still have over 850 team members building Destiny and Marathon, and we will continue to build amazing experiences that exceed our players' expectations. There will be a time to talk about our goal and projects, but today is not that day. No kidding. Who cares about projects when you just
yep,
fired 220 people?
yep.
Or Sony took 155 of them and probably told you to take another 65. Yeah, but today our focus is on supporting our people. I think that's I mean, that's a good statement. I think that's I don't know. My initial thoughts are like they admit they messed up. They admit they messed up. They're taking full
Yeah.
responsibility. And I mean, dude, Pete Parsons has been with Bungie since 2002, man. He's been there a long
Yeah,
time.
so it's
So to
career.
him, this is pretty personal. He's losing people that he's known for a very long time.
Yep.
That like you've been in that company for that long, you probably knows all the 800 people. Like aside from the very new people, he probably knows them all.
Yeah,
I would think, and everybody in that Seattle office, I'm sure.
yeah.
But you know what this reminds me of? Maybe you don't remember this, but maybe you do. Quiznos. Do you remember
I remember
Quiznos?
Quiznos. Yeah, yeah.
When was the last
Quiznos.
time you had Quiznos? They still exist.
Last time I had Quiznos was probably like 2013, 14. It was a long time ago.
Okay. But did you ever have a bad experience at Quiznos?
No, dude, I
Do you
loved
always think?
dude, Quiznos. They had, I will never forget, they had like an amazing like red wine vinaigrette, I think is what it was.
Yep.
Oh, it was so good. It was like my favorite sauce they had. They
You know
put
what
it on their
happened in
sauce.
Quiznos though?
Oh, what happened?
Here's what happened to Quiznos. Basically, they popped off in the mid 2000s, and they were starting to like destroy Subway and stuff. They were like
Mm,
really getting up there
yeah.
with like definitely in terms of like what's it called quality. But what happened at Quiznos is that they did what Bungie did here. They expanded way too quickly
Mm,
in an economic environment where they thought they could sustain it, and then the markets like just plummeted. There was like a complete reversal in the industry,
yeah.
and they had to close like the majority of their shops. So now if you want to find Quiznos, there's like a few. There's one in like the Denver airport. There's like two in Las Vegas. They're like in primary destination
Yeah.
areas now instead of being on every corner like they used to be.
Mm,
Which is
yeah.
like that's just what happens. Like it's really unfortunate when that happens to people, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Dude, I remember the
just
Quiznos I
poor
went to.
timing.
Yeah, exactly. That Quiznos I went to was in a gas station. I'll never forget that. Was like one of
Yeah.
those supplementary kind of restaurants in a gas
Yeah,
station.
yeah, it was like,
And
and now it'd probably turn into like a Subway or
yeah, standalone.
uh what's that other like sub shop that's everywhere?
There's
There's
Jimmy
Witch
John.
Witch,
Yeah,
Jimmy
Jimmy
John's. Jimmy John's
John's.
is more
Yeah,
new to me.
yeah.
But yeah, Quiznos, it was really good. Subway, Quiznos, and then Mike's,
Jersey Mike's is
Jersey
down here.
subs,
Yeah, I know
Jersey
that's. I
Mike's.
don't know if
Yeah,
that's Jersey Mike's up north. It might be. I don't know.
it
But I know
is.
it's
It is.
down here.
But I mean, up north,
Yeah,
northeast is a different breed, man.
yeah, but
Like
you don't need a sub shop
everybody.
because
No,
you don't
no,
need a chain
everybody
because they're
knows the
there.
deli guy. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah,
the
you don't need a chain.
shop
You know.
chains up there don't really succeed like
Yeah.
they do down south. It's a
Yeah,
little bit
dude.
different culture.
Dude, I'll never forget when I went to a sandwich shop in Queens and I was like, bro, it was heavenly. Like I
Yeah,
walked out of there, I was like,
it's
dude,
gonna,
this is
yeah.
fire. Oh man.
Dude, there's a couple of like, oh, I dream about lobster rolls in certain parts of Boston. I'm like,
Oh dude.
no, there ain't no chain for this, baby.
Oh man.
You
I
know what I mean?
I wanted to go to that lobster joint that Casey Neistat goes. So I think it's in Connecticut. I want to visit that one day
Oh
because it's
yeah,
like lobster.
yeah.
It's got to be fresh.
And they're
Woo.
cheap, dude.
I
They're
mean,
actually like really
mm,
cheap and really fresh and good. But it's different because
oh
you get Maine lobsters up there,
yeah,
and they have Canadian lobsters too. But I mean, it's easier for them to get it because they're
yeah,
so much closer.
yeah, for sure.
Everybody knows a guy. Everybody's
Yeah,
got the hookup.
yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
Oh
so
man.
going back to what's going on at Bungie,
Yeah,
I think the workforce being decreased is partially Sony pressure, because
yeah, for
Bungie
sure.
has made enough money that yeah, they probably win the red for a couple of months, but I still feel like they have the ability to sustain it
Yeah, I
for
mean,
like a year or so.
it's not like they don't have reserves, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. So Sony's probably putting pressure on it, doubling up on 155 rules, people losing jobs. Then 65, it seems, just doing basic math, 220 minus 150, 65, uh, comes down to people that they had to let go as well. That's a big chunk of your population within a company as well. 220 out of 1,000. I mean, losing 20%. That's a big deal.
Yeah,
So this, I think, terrible situation probably the best notice article that we've ever seen, like of the last, I would say 9 months of layoffs. This
yeah.
is the best
It's
like
it's
communication.
detailed. It's detailed for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think you just give that transparency up front. Yeah, I mean, you have to
you have
respect
to.
it. I mean, it's just one of those things like not everyone does it. So, in
Yeah,
fact, 95% of people, of companies don't do it. So, um,
yeah, which is a shame because it's like, do you not respect the people that were working for you?
yeah,
You know, why would you
yeah,
not
it's like,
give? Why wouldn't you be honest? If
yeah.
you're doing something shady, then yeah, okay, don't say anything.
Then obviously,
But
like, yeah,
yeah, like for legal reasons, I guess. I don't even want to get that's a whole can of worms. But if you're like a decent human being, you need to let people know.
yeah, yeah,
Like be for real with them. Don't
yeah,
do what that
yeah.
stupid idiot from that mortgage lender, better.com or whatever. He went on like a Teams meeting, got everybody into one Teams meeting, like a town hall, made it so they couldn't talk, and then he was the CEO talking to everybody and just basically told them they're all let go and fired,
Whoa,
which is
you can't even
insane.
unmute, baby. You can't even.
Yeah,
That's crazy. It's
insane.
another level.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah.
Anyhow, yeah,
It's crazy. It's crazy, dude. I mean, this is. I mean, it's cool to see the transparency, but again, it's like this is something. It either comes out in a Jason Schreier article like months down the line because
yeah.
he speaks to some anonymous employees and
Yeah, that's
like,
true,
go
and
that way.
it doesn't hit the same because it's all secondhand. This is
Yeah,
firsthand.
yeah, it's from
This
the
is the
horse's mouth, baby.
dude. Yeah, this is the dude at Bungie. And I know Bungie gets a lot of freaking hits, dude. Like a lot of people give him a hard time,
Yeah,
but I genuinely think maybe I'm a little bit biased Halo kid, but I've always felt like Bungie is just the better studio out of like compared to other ones. Like I
yeah,
would put Bungie up there above Activision Blizzard, above EA, above Ubisoft. It's like, yeah, I don't
yeah.
know.
They have a good track record, man. It's so weird too. Like just thinking about the history of Bungie and how it was like predominantly Xbox and now it's Sony. It's like the shift that it's made throughout the couple decades. So it's wild. But
Yeah,
yeah, they make good products. Like Destiny is not a bad game by any means. So it's like they built another universe after Halo and it was successful and it's survived this long, and it's gonna be coming up. I mean, the Destiny IP itself's what 10 years old at this point, because I think it was 2014 it came out.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's they've maintained relevancy, and I'm sure the last the final shape or whatever, I'm sure it probably wasn't what people expected. It's kind of
No.
they probably will run the well dry to a certain extent. I'm sure they'll probably still try to do more
Agreed.
stuff, but I mean, with Marathon, it's like exciting to see new IP because it's Bungie, right? Like they've kind of they've done it well a couple times now with doing new IP. So we just say they can't do it again, kind of thing. So we're just
Yeah.
hoping Marathon's good, but
Yeah, I
dude.
mean, I they definitely have the talent and skill to create good games. That's beyond a shadow of my doubt. Like they just
Yeah.
know they have the talent to do well. Hopefully that talent stays. I mean, this could be a
Yeah.
big shakeup, and they could be like, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go to like Epic. I'm gonna go to Rare or like whatever. Who
Yeah.
knows? But yeah, one thing possibly to mention is doing a quick little Google search of Pete Parsons. Apparently, he spent a whole buttload of money on cars in the last like year,
Nice.
especially after the acquisition from Sony. He got a big payout,
Oh
but I mean
yeah,
that's
I already
just
know he
what
did.
happens to executives.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean it's tough. It really is tough, but
Yeah.
people are going to nitpick. They're going to be upset. Um, but I feel like this is the better way to handle it. I think is what we should leave with.
Yeah, it's true, dude. I mean, yeah, some are going to SIE, so I'm assuming this is the thing is, and I don't know if the article mentioned it. Maybe it did. Like, is the 220 roles being eliminated? Is 155 of that from those 220, or is that a whole other 155?
So what I just read is 155 are roles that were basically represented in Sony and Bungie. So
Interesting.
because
Okay.
they were doubled up, I
Yeah.
think what this is talking about is how 155 roles were the same at Bungie as they are at Sony because of the acquisition. So they got rid of the Bungie staff because that's just usually what happens when the bigger company absorbs a smaller one.
Yeah.
You get rid of to keep the culture of Sony intact, not the
Gotcha.
new acquisition.
Yeah.
So the 65 more, my guess is because they were negative, Sony probably came down as like, you guys need to figure out how to balance the books now, which is
Yeah.
why it's like including most of our executive and senior leader roles. That tells me that, okay, they're losing a lot of executive talent, a lot of senior developer studio managers, stuff like that, and they're replacing them with Sony people so that Sony can basically have the control of Bungie itself, which is going to be weird because regardless of what the culture is at Bungie, good or bad, it's going to change now.
Yeah. For sure. And I just have to know,
Yeah.
dude, what do we think the odds are the next 6 months? We'll see an article that says Bungie vets start new studio. Like some of these senior
Oh,
people
dude,
like
do
going and
two
starting their own
weeks,
thing. It's like,
2 weeks,
oh man.
easy,
It's one of those
easy
things
two
like
weeks.
could you I mean, dude, if that's the thing. I feel like if some Bungie vets, like some ex Bungie vets, like started a studio, how many people would probably want in on that because it's Bungie? It's like
Oh
a
yeah,
lot of
dude.
people. So
Well, you know what blows my mind. Side note, like a lot of people don't know as much Halo stuff as I do.
yeah.
So Bungie people that got sick of Bungie and they got sick of Activision Blizzard when Activision Blizzard bought Bungie. They tried to leave and go back to Halo, and the people that own Halo now is 343 Industries.
Yeah.
So they tried to go back. The people at 343 Industries said there's an unspoken rule here: no Bungie people allowed, because they
Mm,
think that they can create games better than Bungie, which
mm.
is fundamentally just not true. Like
Is
that's
that
factually
is that
just
like
not
a
true.
non-compete
It's an
discriminatory like like what's going on there?
definitely discriminatory because it's unspoken. You can't really
Yeah.
prove it.
Yeah. I guess
Like
so.
apparently it's in like given in interviews or articles of ex 343 employees basically saying like
Yeah.
Bungie people can't work here.
I mean, I believe it, but
343. I mean,
so,
why else would you
yeah,
not hire certain people that are good for the game?
yeah.
You know,
Could make
What?
a good Halo game. Anyway,
That's impossible. Absolutely
impossible,
impossible.
impossible.
Yeah,
That's why
not
Halo
with
2
that
tournaments
studio.
are back, baby. Let's go.
Honest to God, you can't give the official announcement, but the website for that should be launching in like a week.
Yeah, hopefully.
We'll see.
I've heard things.
We'll
I've
see.
heard things. So, we'll see.
Yeah. Gotta keep them
Oh
in the ropes
man.
though.